Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through sources to bring you the most interesting, sometimes surprising nuggets of knowledge. Today, I want you to picture, those classic arcade games. Super charming, looks simple.
Yeah, the ones with bright colors, easy to grasp fun.
Exactly. But what if one of those cheerful games hid something, well, frankly, kind of audacious?
Audacious hell.
Like a deliberate design choice that literally punished you for playing alone or made you do, frankly, ridiculous things just to get the real story.
Okay, that sounds like a playground rumor almost.
Yeah.
But that's actually what we're digging into. We're doing a deep dive into the, let's say, surprisingly complex and, yeah, sometimes maddening hidden stuff in a real arcade legend, Bubble Bobble.
And its official sequel, Rainbow Islands. Can't forget that one.
Right. And our info for this, it comes from this really fascinating YouTube video transcript. It lays out the just incredible lengths players had to go to find the deepest secrets in these games.
Yeah, so our mission today, we're going to unpack these really bold design choices the developers made. We'll look at the hidden story connecting the games and, what eventually happened to this classic series.
You're probably going to hear about a side of these retro games you never knew existed.
Definitely. So let's start with Bubble Bobble.
Okay, so Bubble Bobble, released by Taito, 1986. It looked like a straightforward arcade action game.
Very charming art style, those iconic little dinosaurs.
Yep, Bub and Bob. And the mechanics seem simple, right? Blow bubbles, trap the baddies, pop them, clear the screen.
And it blew up. Huge commercial success, got critical acclaim, nominated for Arcade Game of the Year even.
Yeah, it really did. And it influenced other games too, like Snow Bros. Came later, clearly took some cues.
So the basic story they gave you was Bubby and Bobby, they were actually human kids.
Right, until this villain, the Black Wizard, turned them into these bubble dinosaurs, and he also grabbed their girlfriends.
So the goal is simple. Rescue the girlfriends, break the curse. And you do that by going through this 100-floor underground cave.
And let's pause right there. 100 floors.
Yeah.
That alone was, massive for an arcade game back then. You compare it to something like Snow Bros. That only had 50 levels.
So just finishing it was a huge deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The source we looked at points out that very, very few players ever actually saw any ending, just because it took so long.
Okay, but here's where it gets, properly sneaky. Imagine you're playing solo. You've spent ages, God knows how many coins. You finally beat the Black Wizard. Floor 100.
You're expecting the big payoff.
Nope. Only one girlfriend gets saved. The other's still trapped.
Oh, man.
And then...
the game changes the music. It gets really unsettling, apparently.
Yeah, creepy unsettling.
Yeah.
And then text pops up.
Saying what?
Basically. This is not the true ending. Challenge with a friend to discover the truth.
Wow. So it wasn't just incomplete. It was deliberately punishing solo players. Scary music. Told their effort was, quote, futile.
And no warning beforehand, no manual hint, nothing.
Well, nothing. Zero. The source estimates 99.99% of players got totally tricked by this. It was a completely wild design choice.
Yeah.
Just flew in the face of what players expected. Win the game, get the reward.
It's basically forcing you into multiplayer. That's kind of nuts.
It really was. A deliberate push.
So, okay, what if you did play with a friend? Did that fix it?
Well, yes and no. If two players just beat the 100th floor together, then yes, both dinosaurs are saved, the curse lifts, they hug their girlfriends. Happy ending, sort of.
Sort of.
Because believe it or not, that still wasn't the absolute best, most perfect ending.
You're kidding. More layers.
Oh, yeah. It raises questions, doesn't it? About how much hidden stuff is fair game design. So, okay, after you get that two-player true ending,
Yeah.
you had to wait, sit through the entire credits roll, and then a special screen appeared with really cryptic instructions. Something like, next, enter the secret level. To enter. Clear stages 120 without dying. Then enter a silver door to find ABCD.
Wait, clear the first 20 levels without dying? Just to get a hint for the next step?
Exactly. A flawless run just for the clue. Yeah. So players figured this out somehow. They had to restart the game, select super mode, which was a harder difficulty setting.
Right.
And then play through the first 19 stages perfectly. No hits, no damage taken at all.
19 stages, flawless.
Then, and only then, on stage 20, this hidden silver door would appear.
Okay, getting complicated. What's behind the door?
The secret room. You had to collect all the gems inside it, and you exit and it drops you back into the main game. But at stage 22...
And then you just keep playing. All the way to 100 again.
All the way, from stage 22 right through to 100. Still in super mode,
Mm.
presumably still needing 2 players for the final bit.
My goodness. And that finally gives you the perfect ending.
That gives you the arcade's ultimate reveal. When you beat the boss this time, the black wizard's robe falls off. It
Yeah.
reveals he's actually another Bubble Bobble creature himself, like Bub and Bob.
No way.
Yeah. And he's freed from a curse, and then it's revealed he's their parents. Or, well, the parents collectively.
The parents, they were the villain.
Well, they were being controlled. That's the key part. They weren't evil, just puppets.
Yeah.
But the game still didn't tell you who was pulling the strings.
So even after all that, there's still a mystery.
Still a mystery. The true mastermind remained unknown.
I mean, just think about the dedication. No internet, no guides.
Just sheer persistence. Trial and error, maybe kids swapping secrets in the arcade. It's a completely different world of discovery compared to now.
It really makes you appreciate that era of, hidden depths.
Totally. And speaking of different versions, let's shift to the Famicom port, the NES version for most of us outside Japan.
Right. How did that handle things? Was it the same?
It kept the core gameplay, the 100 levels, and yeah, you still needed 2 players for the true ending, just like the arcade.
Okay.
But then it added another layer of secrets, almost like they thought the arcade version wasn't, I don't know, obscure enough.
Oh, come on. How could they make it more complicated?
Well, after you got the 2-player Famicom ending, saving the girlfriends, you got another message.
Let me guess. This is still not the true ending.
Pretty much. It said something like, you need to obtain the magic crystal ball, then find the door to the secret continent.
A magic crystal ball. Okay, how do you get that?
This is where it gets, frankly, kind of brutal.
Yeah.
According to the source, this was an extreme challenge.
Go on.
You play all the way to stage 99, which the source timed took about an hour and 35 minutes for one solid run.
Okay, deep into the game.
Then on stage 99, this magic crystal ball appears. It's in a tricky spot, and it's only there for 8 seconds.
8 after an hour and a half.
8 seconds. If you miss it, it vanishes. Poof!
Yeah.
Your chance at the real ending for that run. Gone.
Wow, that's bordering on cruel design.
It's incredibly demanding. The source mentioned it took the person playing something like 20 attempts, using the Famicom's password system to retry, just to finally grab that ball in time. It's a test of precision, timing, and nerves, really.
I can't even imagine the frustration. But okay, let's say you manage it, you grab the ball. What happens?
Instantly, a secret door appears right there on stage 99.
And that leads to the secret continent.
Exactly. You go through the door, and you're transported to this new map area labeled A0.
More levels.
Yep. Another 13 stages to clear, and then you fight the Black Wizard again. Still need 2 players for this part, by the way.
Okay, so clear A0, beat the boss.
Yeah.
That saves the girlfriends on the Famicom.
That saves the girlfriends, but we still haven't saved the parents yet in this version.
Oh my god, there's still more.
There's still more.
Oh.
To save the parents on the Famicom, you needed a specific password.
Where did you get the
You
password?
got it after beating the A map and saving the girlfriends.
Okay, so you get the password, then what?
You use the password, you enable super mode again, you restart the entire game.
No.
Yes. And you have to repeat every single step you just did. Play through normally, reach stage 99, grab the crystal ball within 8 seconds, enter the secret door, clear all 13 stages of the A map.
And fight the final boss again in 2-player super mode.
Exactly. You had to essentially master the entire ridiculously hard secret path twice.
That is absolutely insane dedication required. What's the final payoff for that ordeal?
That finally leads to the Famicom's perfect ending. Girlfriends saved, parents saved, everyone's human again.
Is there, like, a special message this time?
Yeah, the game apparently tells you something like, proved you're not a bastard with only love, no family.
Charming.
Isn't it? But even after all that,
Huh.
the identity of the true mastermind, still a mystery.
Unbelievable. So both versions leave you hanging on the ultimate villain.
Yup. Frustratingly so.
That's
Really
too
makes you
bad.
think about the player's mindset back then. The patience, the lack of information, maybe even the anger. But also the thrill of discovery, I guess.
No kidding. A different time. So where did the story go next? That mystery villain must have been set up for a sequel.
Precisely. Which brings us to Rainbow Islands, released just a year later, 1987.
Okay, and this is the official sequel.
Yes, definitely the official one. There was a much later game called Bubble Bobble 2 on PC in 94, but the source notes that was outsourced, not really part of this original Tato storyline.
Got it. So Rainbow Islands, what's the setup?
It takes place years later. Bubby and Bobby are human again, thanks to the events of the first game.
Right.
They hear about this thing called the Diamond Scepter. over on Rainbow Island supposedly grants any wish.
Okay, classic quest motivation.
So they head over, and on the island, they meet this girl who tells them the residents there are imprisoned
By who? Let me guess.
by the Dark Archwizard. The game explicitly says it's the same guy who controlled their parents and kidnapped the girlfriends back in Bubble Bobble.
Ah, so the mystery villain finally gets a name.
He does. So the brothers, Bubby and Bobby, decide to use their magic. They have rainbow magic now, apparently inherited to defeat him and save the islanders.
Makes sense. Both brothers fighting together again.
Well, interestingly, midway through the game, Bob just disappears, vanishes.
Really? Why?
The arcade version doesn't really explain it well. Bubby is just left to finish the quest alone.
Okay. So how did the endings work in this one? Please tell me it wasn't as complicated as Bubble Bobble's.
It was. Differently complicated, still multiple endings. The game has 10 worlds, 40 stages overall.
All right.
And the endings depend on collecting items. In the first 7 worlds, you need to collect 7 small gems in each world to unlock a large rainbow gem for that world. So 7 big gems total.
Okay, 7 big gems.
Then in the later worlds, you need to collect 3 magic mirrors.
Gems and mirrors. Got it. What happens if you miss stuff?
Okay, so if you don't get all 7 big rainbow gems from those first 7 worlds, you get to the end, and Bubby finds this mountain of treasure. He's tempted, like maybe he should just take the riches and forget the quest.
Oh.
But then he finds a letter. It hints at the true ending and mentions the islanders pleading for help. The source calls it like a moral binding, basically guilt-tripping the player into restarting to collect everything properly.
Okay, that's one way to do it. What if you get the gems but miss the mirrors?
That's the unfortunate ending. If you get the 7 big gems, but you don't have the 3 magic mirrors from the later worlds.
Then what?
Bubby does save the islanders from the villain. But because he doesn't have the mirrors, the power of the rainbow gems can't fully break their curse.
So they stay.
They stay as Bubble Bobble creatures.
Forever.
Trapped. The source even points out there's a visual hint for this, like a cage in the final boss room background.
Oh, that's bleak. A subtle but sad detail.
Yeah. So naturally, the perfect ending requires everything.
All 7 big gems, all 3 magic mirrors.
Collect all of that, beat the game, and then all the Bubble Bobble creatures finally turn back into humans. Peace returns, happy ending achieved.
Phew. Okay, still complex, but maybe slightly less punishing than the first game's secrets.
Perhaps. But wait, there's the Famicom port of this game too.
Of course there is. Did it add more?
It actually fleshed out the story a bit more, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how Bob just vanished in the arcade version?
Yeah. Unexplained.
The Famicom version gave him more of a role. It showed him acting as, like, an investigator, actively feeding information and help to Bubby, even after he disappeared. It made his absence feel more like part of a plan, maybe.
That's a neat addition. Does it change the endings?
The Famicom version also played with the wish aspect of the Diamond Scepter more. It presented you with choices if you got the scepter.
Like what?
You could choose selfish wishes, like becoming famous or getting a girlfriend.
Huh. Seriously.
Yeah. But again, the source suggests the game heavily implied you were morally bound to choose the option to save the Islanders.
So the outcome was basically the same as the arcade perfect ending.
Pretty much, yeah. Save the Islanders, everyone's happy. But the Famicom version just added a bit more narrative flavor around it.
Okay, so across both games, after all these perfect endings, is the Dark Archwizard finally defeated for good?
That's the really striking thing. No.
Still not.
Even after the perfect ending of Rainbow Islands, the ultimate villain, the Dark Archwizard, isn't truly gone or definitively beaten.
So Taito is clearly setting up for more, right? Bubble Bobble 3 or something.
It really seems like it. They built this whole hidden lore, revealed the parents, named the Big Bad. It strongly points towards intentions for a continuing saga.
But it never really happened that way, did it?
Not really, no. What happened instead, as arcades started to decline, the Bubble Bobble series sort of shifting gears.
How so?
It became more about licensing, ports, spin-offs. The source describes it as essentially milking the IP value.
So less about deep story continuation, more about just using the characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why, today, a lot of people probably only know Bubble Bobble from like modern puzzle games or those spinning wheel type iterations.
Yeah, they've probably forgotten or never even knew about these original, incredibly deep, almost dungeon crawl-like adventures with all these insane hidden stories.
It's quite a contrast, isn't
That
it?
really is. So, just to recap, we've seen these games, Bubble Bobble and Rainbow Islands, that looked simple on the surface.
But they were packed with incredible depth. Multiple endings hidden behind really demanding, sometimes obscure requirements.
And a narrative commitment, this connected lore that you had to seriously work for.
Yeah, it really drives home how game design back then could intentionally, mislead you, challenge you in unexpected ways, force you to earn every single piece of the story.
It feels so different from now, where most games are much more accessible, walkthroughs are everywhere.
Information is instant, which is
Yeah.
convenient, sure, but it does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Wonder what.
Like in this age of instant answers, are we maybe missing out on something? That feeling of genuine discovery, of uncovering a truly deep secret on your own. Are we losing the ability to appreciate that kind of mystery in games?
Or maybe looking back, these old games represent something else. Maybe a kind of lost art in game design, where the biggest rewards really did come only through sheer perseverance and, well, a whole lot of curiosity.
It's definitely something to think about.
Indeed it is. Something to mull over until our next deep dive.